Alright, what's up guys? Today we're going to take a look at my shoulder workout for size. To warm up, as usual, I'll start off with doing some hanging leg raises. Like I said, I'm trying to improve the lower portion of my abs, so every workout I try to start with this movement. Just let my body hang loosely and then try to lift my legs as strict as possible. This movement today, I believe I did like roughly about three sets of 20 reps. Um, just trying to keep the tension on the muscle while I'm going up and not to come all the way down. So I keep that constant tension on the muscle. Again, like I said, this is a great movement to add definition to the lower portion of the abs. Um, it's also good for building up, core strength as well. So this to me is probably my number one exercise as far as getting that, six pack abs, and that's the goal that I'm chasing right now. So like I said, I did three sets of these, roughly about 15 to 20 reps per set. Then we start with light shoulders. All right, so the first movement that we start with here is the seated military press on the Smith machine. Here I'll just start with the bar, just to warm up, make sure I get the blood into the muscle. I'll typically do about 15 to 20 reps with just the bar. Um, After that, my partner is going to start out with one plate, and we'll work up from there. We'll probably throw in a quarter after, and we keep going from there. Right now, we're just trying to get that crazy pump. So we make sure that the reps are, solid, anywhere from 15 to 20 reps. This is probably one of the best movements as far as adding size to the shoulders. This has worked tremendously for me, and I love the movement. It's safe also, which is also important to me. I'm not trying to get hurt. So this is a pretty safe movement. It's strict, it keeps tension on the shoulders, and it's just good for having overall size. So yeah, this is like one of my favorite movements. This is my boy Diddy right here. He's like the strongest out of all three of us. Dude's a beast. All right, so here we bumped up to plate and a quarter. Again, just trying to get some reps in here, get the pump going. Um, for me, high reps always seem to work really well, so I try to stick to keeping the reps relatively high while lifting as heavy as I possibly can. So, and try to be as strict as possible in terms of form, because that's important. Most movements that allow you to sit down don't really allow much room for, cheating, leaning back, rocking, that type of stuff. So there's more tension on the muscle, and that's the idea. The idea is to create more tension. More intention leads to more intensity in terms of, the workout, and that usually leads to more growth. More pressure you put on those muscles, the more they're gonna grow. So that right there is, I would say, probably my heaviest set. We went all the way up to, I believe, like two plates. Then we did like two plates and a 10, and that's it. I attempted two plates and a 25 towards the end, but that's not here. That was like an epic fail. I wasn't really feeling the strength gains today. I'm working out pretty much on fumes. All I had was a power bar and a muscle milk, and that's pretty much it. Well, that's it for this movement. Like I said, it adds great size. We're going to move on to the next one shortly. so we could keep the game. Alright, so the second movement is going to be upright rows. Again, this is another movement that I do high reps with. I do about typically 15 to 20 reps, and I go as heavy as possible. Again, just try to keep the movement, fluid. Don't rest too much at the top. Don't rest too much at the bottom. Keep the constant tension on the muscle. This is a great movement for working the side delts, as well as a little bit of the rear delts. And it's just good to put overall size on the side delts. That's a portion of the shoulder that's gonna add that width. You know, the goal here is to get wider in the shoulders and smaller in the waist, and this is one of those movements that will help. Typically, like I said, I do about 4 sets, and just concentrating getting like a really nice pump. I could do this with a barbell, or I could do it with dumbbells as well. The dumbbells will allow better range as far as going a little bit higher and back. Um, the cable is my preferred method though, because the cable actually helps you keep tension on the movement straight throughout. So, and that for me is important. As far as training, I always try to keep that constant tension on the muscle. Like I said, the tension equals growth, and that's the whole idea here, to keep growing. After this, we'll move on to side delts. Alright, so this third movement is one of the most important movements as far as adding size to the side of your shoulders, which I said before will create that width. This is the side lateral dumbbell raises. These I go as heavy as I possibly can, and I keep the rep range within, I would say, 10 to 12 reps. Um, and when I just start out, the movement's a little bit strict, and as it gets heavier, as you can see here, I'm rocking a little bit back and forward just to help, use some momentum to get the weight up. Yes, it is cheating, but yes, you can grow from cheating. So form is not exactly as strict as possible, but you do feel the effect, especially after the shoulders are really pumped. Again, this is one of my favorite movements for shoulders. Alright, so the fourth and final movement is going to be the alternate dumbbell front raises. This is an excellent movement to add size and definition to the front portion of your shoulder, or the front delts. Um, Try to keep it as strict as possible, but when you get really heavy with this movement, again, you will incorporate some rocking to help you with the weight. That momentum helps you get the weight up. But like I said before, it is cheating, but once the muscle you're working is already pumped, you're still gonna get an effect because you're lifting weights heavier than what you normally would lift, and the focus is already on that muscle, so the muscle is gonna be engaged to actually assist in moving that weight, regardless of the momentum. I don't try to get too crazy with the momentum, but when the weights get really heavy, you know, you will have to put some momentum in there. It's been working so far. My front deltoids are actually pretty decent. Um, what I lack is rear delts, and those I try to hammer out when I'm doing back. I'll be doing back tomorrow. Here's my boy doing the same movement, but a little twist at the top, just by turning the thumbs downward while he's lifting. You're getting a nice squeeze at the top. This is my boy Real. Good dude right here. We always work out together too. Alright, so here I believe, I think I'm up to like the 30 or 35 pounds here. It's getting a little heavy, but still got to push through it. That's how you get these gains. You're not gonna get gains by quitting or saying, oh my God, the weight's too heavy. I'm not suggesting that you hurt yourself, but you have to put pressure on the muscle. That is how the muscle is gonna grow. It's not gonna grow by doing the same shit every day. When you come in the gym, you gotta be prepared to shock the muscle. I'll do this workout today. The next time I'll do shoulders. I'll do 4 different other movements. I try not to keep the muscle in the loop, I would like to say. You know, the idea is to constantly shock the muscle. This movement is great for that because, like I said, it's very taxing on the shoulders and it's something you do towards the end. All right, that's it for the workout, guys. Thanks for watching. All right, so don't forget to like and subscribe. That's my Instagram name. Thanks for watching.